Hey everyone, welcome to my first Meshcapade tutorial. So what is Meshcapade? Meshcapade is a platform, a team that is building AI agents. They describe them as AI agents that can see, understand, and interact like real people. What does that have to do with me? I'm an animator. Part of Meshcapade is their performance capture, markerless performance capture system called Mocapade, and that's what I'm showing you today. The team announced that for the next 2 weeks, everyone can have access to the pro version of Mocapade, and of course I couldn't miss that chance to give it a try. And let me dive in, show you what I come up with, because I'm excited about this system compared to others that I have tried in the past. Why? Why am I excited about Mocapade? First, because Mocapade allows you to capture a number of characters using one camera. So you're not limited to one character per video. The other is the ways where you can build that avatar or that character. A third reason is the number of platforms that you can export to. But there's one more thing that is really making me curious to try. With Mocapade, you can also export camera data. Let me show you. For now, for this first tutorial, I'll be using the same reference I used before with other platforms, with other markerless systems, just to be able to standardize this. Same input, and let's compare the output. How do you do that? When you create your account, as you can see here, you have on the side a number of tabs or icons, and at the bottom here you get videos. That's where you can go to basically upload or capture a file that you can then extract motion from. So in my case, I'll be just uploading the same video you've seen in my latest tutorial, this one. And once I upload it, you see this. You see a number of options here. Okay? One of them, and that is for version 3.5, is you can actually enable facial expressions. You're not just capturing body motion, you're also capturing facial and foot locking. For now, I won't bother with facial expressions. I'll just enable foot locking. And as you can see, I can now do it, or I can now enable it because I have this pro version. And I can rename my motion. I can just call it test. Then it's asking you what shape will this avatar be based on. Okay. Why are they asking? Well, you can read about that in their documentation, but for now I'll choose a male. And it also asks you how many people are in this video that you're uploading. Is it one person? Is it a multi-character video? And of course I'll go with single person. And now I'll just click create avatar. Ta-da! Uploading. And it's asking you, please don't leave this page. Important assets are being uploaded. Okay. So I won't probably leave, but I'll explain why am I excited about being able to extract 3D camera data from those videos. For this one that I'm uploading, my camera was static because I was trying to follow the guidelines from other platforms that I was testing earlier. But most of the time when I'm getting reference from YouTube or other sources like video reference of characters, most of the time there's a camera movement, even if it's simple. So being able to extract this camera movement, especially if you're dealing with a number of characters, will definitely help me capture performances from a number of characters. More about that later. That's another tutorial. That is something coming hopefully soon. And let's just focus on this first test. Okay, I'll pause this for a few seconds till that upload is completed and processing is done. And let's get back to it. Okay. All right. So now I'm here in the vault, and as you can see, this is now done, uploaded and processed. And I'll click on this, choose open an editor. It's the first time for me to try this, so I'm still discovering, but let me see what we get here. Ta-da! Ta-da! Ding! Okay. Now, have you noticed what we've seen now? This camera, or this character, let's play it again. Okay. What I've just noticed now is really great. Why? Let me show you. But let me first zoom out a little bit and play it again. You see, you get this slider where you can, I guess, yeah, you can skip through your motion by going through the, on your keyboard, arrows, left and right, which is awesome. And let me see if I can, if there's an option here to show that video side by side. Is there something like that? Blend animations, view source video, exactly. That's what I was talking about. And you can just drag it to here and you can scale it. Okay, that's, I love this interface. And now, what it is? Synced, yes. What if I click here? Where is my slider? For some reason, that slider that you've seen before is now disappeared. Let me close this. Okay, so I see it now. Maybe if I do this, and if I click my source video, okay, so it is happening. Once you have that window, you can no longer see your slider. It's not synced as it should be, but let's wait. Okay, these are all small issues. Let's just wait. Now it says what? Reset aspect ratio. Okay, you know what, I'll close this video for now. I'll just return here because I really want to focus on this in 3D space and look at it in perspective. Why? Because what really matters to me now is details and any issues that might be happening outside that camera view. Let's scrub through it. Ta-da. Now looking at the feet, remember that we had foot lock, but also notice, I'll come to that later, but also notice how detailed that hand gesture is. Look at the feet and the detail we get here. Okay. Let me dolly in a little bit. Look at this hand motion. Ta-da. And this is the moment I'm excited to see what we come up with. The jump. Okay. And at the jump, with that land Okay. Okay. Nice. Let me just see that here. What am I looking at? What am I focused at? That moment when after the jump, both my hands touch my thighs. This moment here. Okay. Because if you remember, previously, some of other platforms that we tested this video with, for some reason, hands were floating at that moment. Okay. What was I talking about earlier? Remember that I told you that this motion or this video had a static camera? Look at this. At some point, like for this video, I walk towards camera, and this camera movement were camera motion were added. See that? There was a camera move here to compensate for that, for me going closer or moving closer to camera. Now that would be my first question to Mocapade team. And I'm happy. I'm happy with the result of this. Remember, we're still using one camera, one device, no other sources of data for this. Interesting. Let's look at the hips again. Okay. A little bit of that. I'm trying to find that. Okay. So you can actually collapse that slider. Okay. So look at foot lock. Okay. Solid. That is solid. I don't know what happened here. So let me come back. Ta-da. Yeah, that looks solid. Looks solid to me. So that was the first test using Mocapade Pro features, foot locking, no facial animation, and I would say I'm impressed. That first test, that quality, that level of detail, on the hands. Look at the beginning here. Look at this. Let's go. Yeah, look at the hands. Look at that. You see those fingers? Okay. Is this final motion? It is not. But the amount of work that I will be putting here to refine this, to call it force blocking pass, is in literally minutes. And to be honest, I can even just show this as it is now. I can definitely show this as a first block and pass. Because the rest can be cleaned up, can be improved, can be refined very quickly. That's it. I don't want to spend more time on this test because next I'll be really pushing this platform, this tool to the edge to see what I can come up with using now a much more complicated motion and probably with a moving camera to see what I can come up with. But that's for my next tutorial. If you haven't tried Meshcapade, Mocapade Markerless Capture yet, this is your chance to give it a try, to use the pro version free for 2 weeks. Do it. But for me, it's time for a break, a walk, maybe some chai, and I'll see you next.